Anyways, so let's discuss this. All right, so Katie Joy Paulson, without a crystal ball herself, has done something that might, potentially, looks likely to be a problem. She has apparently interfered with a contract, tortiously interfered with a contract, one might say. Now, you might want to know, what is tortious interference with a contract? Well, I will quote from the Restatement of Torts, which says the following. Intentional interference with performance of a contract by a third person is one who intentionally and improperly interferes with the performance of a contract between another and a third person by inducing or otherwise causing the third person not to perform the contract, is subject to liability to the other for pecuniary loss, and resulting to the other from the failure of the third person to perform the contract. That's a lot of words. Let me restate that slightly. All right, so what's tortious interference? You know of a contract that exists between two people. You go and interfere with that contract. And it says improperly. Well, what does it mean by improperly? Well, for example, there's a whole lot of ways you can interfere with a contract properly. By, for example, being a competitor in the business, just generally, right? If I know that if I know you have a deal with someone to do X, and I'm also in the same business, then I might be taking away your customers. That's not improper. That's just business, right? So you need to be doing it improperly. Normally, what we look for to find improperness is some sort of underlying motive or some sort of improper reason to interfere. So that's kind of the thing we're looking for. Then the contract dissolves. The contract dissolves and people are hurt financially. That's tortious interference with a contract, okay, in short. All right, so what do we got? Well, we come from Instagram. We get this from Katie Joy Paulson, without a crystal ball's website herself. So this is from her page. All right, so here's the thing. Without a crystal ball says the following. Jessica Seawald posted a new video containing sponsored content from Native, a skin and body care brand. Okay, so what do we know right away? There's a contract between Jessica and Native. And we know that Without a Crystal Ball knows that because she says she knows that. She says it's sponsored content by Native. She knows there's a contract between specifically these people. Okay? All right. The company promotes an inclusive brand that accepts all people. I don't know if Native knows about Jessica's husband, who incidentally is not Jessica, recently posting a video that's anti-LGBTQ. In the video, he told people to pray away their feelings and not act out. Now, this is a bit of a problem because, first of all, we're not even informing on Jessica, which raises its own set of problems. We're informing on Jessica's husband, right, as a way to cancel her, right? So, yeah, this is totally irrelevant to the contract because they have a contract with Jessica, not Jessica's husband. So there's that. That's a whole set of problems. Practices like this are harmful to the LGBT community and lead to self-deletion thoughts and self-deletion by LGBT youth. That's debatable. They also don't appear to be anti-woman nor for child abuse, which is curious because Jessica's family promotes blanket training and uses a rod to discipline their children. I've reached out to Native for a comment on these details and haven't heard back. I might have said Jessica or something. Jessa Seawald. She's a Duggar. Oh, yeah, she's a Duggar. Okay, she's one of the Duggar people, which, I don't care either way. Yeah, Jessa. I might have said her name wrong, but it's Jessa Seawald. Okay, fine. All right, so we've got so what do we have here? We have a communication from Without a Crystal Ball saying a couple things, right? I am aware this contract exists between specifically these people. They have a contractual relationship. I, a third party, am going to contact one of the parties in an effort to induce them to break the contract. We have a second comment from Without a Crystal Ball. Native responded to our questions about Jessa Seawald representing their brand. Native promotes inclusivity and acceptance of all people. We shared that both Ben and Jessa have repeatedly made homophobic statements and directed them to a video by Ben, who's not Jessa, telling people to pray away they're gay. They said they had no idea about her background and have no plans to work with her in the future. Any company that supports LGBTQ has a right to know if an ambassador makes disparaging or homophobic contents. They could have done their own due diligence. I'm just saying. They also have a right to know that Jessa is connected to a cult that promotes corporal punishment, submission of women, racism, and total authority of men. We appreciate Native's quick response. They agree that Jessa does not align to what their brand stood for, because based on what we did. Then there's this wonderful little line here that's kind of like self-werewolf territory. For those claiming this interferes with Jessa's work, let me be clear about something. There are plenty of conservative brands she can partner with and do advertising for on her channel. However, she should not be profiting off a company that promotes inclusivity when she promotes the exact opposite. Yeah, this doesn't work as a defense. She has a lot of potential other contracts she could sign. It is not a defense to tortious interference. She has this contract, a contract she's entitled to, which you have interfered with. So this does, in fact, interfere with Jessa's work. Your argument that she has lots of other brands she could coordinate with, even if true, does not change the statement that you're interfering with her work. You are. You're interfering with this exact contract. That's the contract you're interfering with, which is part of her work. She might be able to get other work. She might be able to get replacement work, but you're interfering with this work, and that's a problem. Now, normally in a tortious interference with contract, we have additional problem, right? We have an additional problem of showing that the interference induced the break of the contract, right? That's normally where we get into problems, right? Because just because people did a tortious interference does not mean that tortious interference caused the contract break, right? It's post hoc ergo propter hoc, right? It's after that, therefore, because of it is causality rather than correlation, right? Thing A happened, thing B happened, thing A caused thing B. That's post hoc reasoning, right? So you normally have a problem because how do you prove that the tortious interference is the thing that caused the contract to breach? No problem. She's got us covered there too. She's got us covered there too, because she has thoughtfully included a DM from Native to her saying the following: "Hi, thanks so much for reaching out. We weren't aware of some of these details, but our team is currently looking into it. As of now, we have no plans to continue working with Jessa in any capacity. We appreciate you bringing this to our attention, as you're right, this doesn't align with our values." So, yeah, so Native themselves, in a DM to her, which she has shared thoughtfully, publicly, Native says, yes, it was because of the things you told us that we canceled our contract with her. That was the reason we did that. So, my friends, we are well on our way to a tortious interference claim. Tortious interference with an existing contract, tortious interference with prospective contracts, and so forth and so on. Because of things she herself did, that she acknowledges in writing she did, and the company acknowledges in writing they did the things they did because of what she did. For all you guys who have been looking forever for a successful lawsuit against Katie Joy, I just would like to offer this as a potential option. I think Jessa has some plausible claims based on these representations. I think Jessa can plead out a claim of tortious interference based on all this. Thank you so much for being part of the Uncivil Law family. If you enjoyed this legal education content, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. We appreciate your continuing support. Until later, my friends, cheers and goodbye.